as far as the game itself, defensively we put ourselves in position to be successful, especially at home. You hold a team, to 71 points. You got to be able to win that one. And outside of Fee, we had a hard time, getting her much consistent help. Yeah, and that's identity-wise, we look like we don't have one, and I have to look at that and see how I can do better, and get more identified shots for some of the others. I thought K-Mac, we ran some stuff for. I thought, it's just hard, for her to break free very often. They know that we run stuff for her, stay attached to her. So you're rarely going to get clean looks, but I just didn't think we showed much patience. I thought we really tried to make home run plays in the first half, and then obviously the continuing turnover problem, and that was the backbreaker.
Talking about Fee, what did you see from her tonight, and what worked well for her on both ends?
Fee was just playing with a level of determination. She was forcing the issue quite a bit, and imposing her will, and obviously we needed that. I think her movement, her cutting, her posting, that sort of thing. I'd have to see her shot plots to kind of see where all that came from. But I thought she did a little bit of everything. She was shooting threes and getting to the foul line. She was running the ball in transition. Just a little bit of everything.
Coach, on the defensive side, Aaliyah Boston's obviously had a great start to her career. Tonight was the first time she was held under 50% shooting. I think it was 3 of 9. What was the game plan to try and at least limit her?
Yeah, we did well in that area, and that's the tough part. Like I said, defensively, we were very engaged in what we were trying to get done. Only a couple times did she spring free where we let her split us, or we didn't get to the help like we wanted to. She burned us on a backside. If you're coming to double, you can't give a player vision, and we gave her vision, and she burned us on the backside for a big basket there late. But a really good player. But I think that we did a good job bringing help to her early, and obviously a smart player like she is, she found her way later in the game as a passer.
Related to the turnovers, I think the crooked number that jumps out in the box score is 19-0 in fast break points. What were some of the biggest issues that you saw out there just when it came to transition offense, stopping it and also creating it?
I don't really know what else to say. It is something that we've talked about ad nauseum. Just, there's day 1 of training camp, day 2 of training camp, 3 of training camp. All we did was transition drills. And then we get to the game and we don't have the focus to recognize, shots going up, getting our people back and getting the floor balanced, and then actually hitting them in transition. They're just, teams just run right at us. There's not much resistance. If I could tell you there was one thing that we have been hammering them about, it is our transition defense. And this particular game, if you look at the numbers, Indiana's not a fast break team. Minnesota had an opportunity to be a transition offensive team tonight if you look at the statistics for both teams. And we just could not get that done. We were not head manning. We were not sprinting the floor. So our pace continues to be a problem, where they think maybe that we're going hard enough, and we're just not. And sprinting ahead, how many times do we take the ball and we just try to dribble it up ourselves and try to beat everybody? You have to head man the ball, throw it ahead, and get it going now from here. You get penetration, you swing it, get some penetration. And, Christy's done a great job with them in terms of their team identity. They run the stuff, and they run it well. They know who the shots are for. But again, I thought we, defensively gave ourselves a chance, and offensively, unfortunately, was our backbreaker.
Coach, I felt like this was one of those games where you guys actually moved the ball a lot. Excuse me, moved the ball a lot
Yeah.
better. People are cutting, moving around.
Yep.
Finally, you guys did look like you had an identity in that third
I
quarter.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
pretty hard on us.
but what did you see from Fee in that third quarter? She
Yeah,
came out aggressive, but
she
also
did.
you guys were moving a lot with the
We
pace.
did, and we talked about like Fee was going to get a lot of attention, like the post was going to get a lot of attention, and we had some bigs that were off of our bigs and trying to help, and we said we wanted to play behind that and like get our post ups, but I thought we forced it in the first half. We kept trying to make on that first action, trying to get it to them, but we talked about playing behind it, and I think that's what you saw there.
Just to see 25 of your good friends tonight that you don't get to see all the time. What was that moment like for you to be reunited with people that have meant a lot to you?
Yeah, I mean, really incredible. A little bit cathartic following the game. So appreciate them. I know our team really wanted to get a W for them. We talked a little bit about just the history of our team, before the game and what they were going to see, who was watching them, and just a bummer we couldn't win for them. But in terms of seeing them, it's crazy when you think about time. It's crazy. I know for all of you, you could probably think about how long you've been doing stuff, and you just go all the time, and it's on to the next roster. It's on to the next thing. It's all, and so nights like this, you have that moment where you go, holy cow. I mean, when Monica Wright was young in 2010 and we drafted her and what she did for our team, just go through all the players, thrilled that they made time to come back and be a part of this. They were thrilled. They felt, just tremendous about the opportunity to be together, and then just honoring them the way that we did throughout their time. They spent a lot of time together. They talked about a lot of the conversations they were having, and for me, it's I wasn't here for all 25. Been in the league for 23. So for much of it, I think for me, I just if you could picture like, frames in my mind each time I saw like whichever player was coming out, it was like like these shots of things that they did that I just quickly remembered, and it was cool. It was really cool. I appreciate the hell out of all of our. The staff that put this on. It was a massive undertaking, and again, appreciate the players coming back. That had to be really cool for the fans. The commemorative floor that they got. I mean, just really, really special night.
Definitely noticed the fans, but part of the reason the fans are so great is because of the success. And so this championship teams, they close out games. This is not the first time we've been here where it was close.
Yeah.
If you could articulate that magic juice, the magic sauce that gives you a nerve to do it in those last 5 minutes, what is that thing? And as a coach, can you teach it, or does it just have to happen on the floor?
Maybe a little bit of both. I think we had it in the Washington game. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to maybe listen to the players and maybe some of the things that they felt, and we had separations. And honestly, I just felt like we beat ourselves. We put ourselves in spots, or we would do good things, and we give it right back. And you got to get that separation. We were 68-64, and we're like right there to close it out, right there. And how many times we've done that here at Target Center? There's just, however many times we've done it. So this team is learning that, and I have to be better for them. I shouldn't have challenged in the first half. It was a really bad decision. It was an emotional decision. I should not have done that. Could have used it on the Dorka play, on the Uhas loose ball, which was absolutely horrendous. There was nobody near her. So I wish I could have that back. But going back to what you're saying, it's you have to learn it. Some of it is being in the situation together. Some of it is failing first, right? And unfortunately, sometimes you go back before you go forward. And we're just gonna keep at it. It doesn't feel very good. I know that. And I know they're frustrated, and this team though typically they stick together and they bounce back. So I'm looking forward to Sunday.
One thing I also noticed about the team after the ceremony, all the players were talking to all the
Yeah.
legends,
Yeah.
and picking their brains. Just what did that mean to you to see them actually, engaging in conversation, trying to really pick their brains?
Yeah.
Sylvia, Maya, just all of them. They're over there. Ariel Powers, she's having conversation. They're all talking to him. What does that mean to you? Just
Yeah.
seeing that.
As somebody who's kind of lived, the when Maya was young, or all these players were younger in their primes, et cetera, and then to see it full circle. A lot of our players were young kids, and watching them, I know they were tickled about these players that were here, and so I thought it was special for them too, and the conversations and the connection. Smart on the players' part to do that, to connect with some of those greats, and I just think all around. I mean, there was just so many great things that came from that, and really special night, and I was happy I was able to be a part of it.
What was the best part of the night for you, I guess, Coach? Obviously, you didn't get to win. But
Yeah.
besides that.
I mean, no question, seeing everyone. Just one by one, them coming out. It was just, for me, it was just like, who's next? And I couldn't wait, and because I wasn't privy to the ceremony, like the run of show type thing. I just, just was out there and just kind of feeling when it was happening, and yeah, just kind of, like who was next. And I mean, there was a few that couldn't be here too, that you just know that were really special. Especially the fans, someone like Svetlana Abrosimova, who was going to be here, and then it didn't quite work out for her. I know fans loved her, but for me, that was a special part. I think it's just that people sacrifice. There's some, like a Tanya Edwards, whose team played tonight. She was here. Monica Wright, who's now with the Phoenix Mercury, her team played tonight. She was here. So that sacrifice, and for each one of them to say thank you the way that they did, and how much it meant to them, that's what I'm going to remember.
Moving to the Zoom, MA.
Yeah, Coach Reeve, you said earlier that it looked like you don't really have an identity now, and it struck me that I don't think any franchise has had a stronger identity for a longer period than you guys did, and that period from 2011 through probably 2018 or 2019. Does it almost make you look back on that and marvel a little more at how long you were able to sustain that, and how do you try to even build something to approach that again, because it was so special?
Yeah, I mean, you think about how we came to be. The group that was together, they talked about it a lot. How it wasn't planned. It wasn't like, hey, let's all go to Minnesota. They looked around sometimes going, how the hell did this happen? How did we all get here? And there was just each like this individual, Rebecca threw a dispersal draft. Obviously, we know Lindsay threw a trade. Maya, because we weren't successful in 2010. It was just one of those things. Obviously, Simone was already here. It was a collection of people that loved being around each other and playing with each other. And they knew what they had. Every day they knew what they had, and they embraced it. And will it ever happen again? I think that's probably, to say ever, I think is dangerous, because sure, it could at some point, but that was not common. And we may not see it again in a while, because free agency has changed. So there's different dynamics now. And how do you try to get that again? I mean, sometimes, just like we did then, you have to fail first. And that might be, that's what's next for us. And we're certainly trying to be successful. And but it just, you guys have been doing this. You guys follow sports. And honestly, MA, the lift that we've had since 2018 and doing what we did in 19 and 20 and 21, I'm super proud of, because there's not a lot of teams that have been able to do that and say goodbye to such tremendous players and then keep on being successful, and so I think in terms of getting back, we're going to work our asses off trying to do that, and as we come out of you look at our roster and contracts, et cetera, this is something I went to Glenn about in 2018, after most people didn't know what was happening, but we knew what we had, and our board was very thin. And I had a conversation with Glenn, and I said, hey, let's look at the drafts, the coming drafts. And I think we should go free agency. And I think we should just, piece this thing back together, and let's try to be successful. The coming drafts, after Syl is gone, is going to be very different. And, you know, if that's what is to be, that's a good time for that to happen. I don't have to tell all of you guys that. I think you're giddy each time we lose, and you can't wait to say some names. I'm kidding, of course, Terry. I'm kidding. But we're trying to be successful, and it just may not be our time.